Have you ever had that feeling? You put your keys down on the counter, you turn around for a second, and they're gone. You search the entire house, growing more and more frustrated, only for them to reappear in the exact spot you first left them. Or what about that flash of intense familiarity in a brand new place? That wave of déjà vu so strong it stops you in your tracks, a feeling that you've lived this exact moment before. We usually dismiss these moments. We call them brain farts, lapses in memory, or simple coincidence. We have neat, scientific boxes to put them in so we can move on with our day. But what if we're wrong? What if these aren't just quirks of our minds? What if there's something more? What if they are glitches in the very fabric of reality? Errors in the code. And what if these glitches are the single greatest clue we have that we are, in fact, not alone? To even begin to understand this, we first need to talk about a concept that has moved from the pages of science fiction into the halls of theoretical physics and the minds of Silicon Valley billionaires. I'm talking about the simulation hypothesis. The idea, popularized by philosopher Nick Bostrom, is simple in its premise but staggering in its implications. It suggests that our universe, everything we see, touch, and experience, might be an incredibly advanced computer simulation. Think of it like a hyper-realistic video game, like The Sims on a cosmic scale, run by a far more advanced civilization. Sounds crazy, right? But consider this, look at the progress of our own video game technology. In just 40 years, we've gone from the blocky pixels of Pong to photorealistic virtual reality worlds. Assuming this rate of progress continues, it's not a stretch to imagine that in a few decades or centuries, we'll be able to create simulations with conscious, artificial beings who have no idea they're inside a game. Bostrom's argument is that if any civilization ever reaches this technological maturity, they would likely run billions or even trillions of ancestor simulations to study their own past. If that's the case, basic probability suggests it's far more likely that we are one of the countless simulated beings than the one, original base reality. Even figures like Elon Musk have said the odds we are not in a simulation are 1 in billions. So, if we accept this as a possibility, just for a moment, then our universe has an operating system. It has code. And like any code, it can have bugs. It can have glitches. And it's in those glitches that we might find the fingerprints of the programmers. Let's start small. With those personal glitches we talked about. They happen to all of us, and they're deeply unsettling because they disrupt our personal, stable reality. Take déjà vu. The scientific explanation is something called dual processing. Your brain receives an input, and for a split second, there's a delay in one of the processing pathways. So, it feels like you're experiencing the same moment twice, once as a memory and once as a present reality. A simple neurological hiccup. But the simulation theory offers a different explanation. Remember in the movie The Matrix when Neo sees the same cat walk by twice? It was a sign that the code of the Matrix had been changed. In simulation terms, déjà vu could be a reload from a previous save point. Or maybe it's just a bit of lag as the system renders a complex new scene, causing a momentary stutter in your perception. You aren't misremembering, you're experiencing a brief system error. Then there's the big one, the Mandela effect. This is when a large number of people have a clear, specific memory of something that never actually happened, or that happened differently. People swear the Berenstain Bears was spelled B-E-R-E-N-S-T-E-I-N. People have vivid memories of a 90s comedy movie called Shazam starring Sinbad as a genie. It never existed. The psychological explanation is memory fallibility and confabulation. But in the simulation hypothesis? This is evidence of a patch or a retcon. A retcon, or retroactive continuity, is when writers change a past event in a story. What if the programmers of our reality did the same? Maybe they tweaked a small detail, but the memory data in our own character files wasn't completely overwritten. We're left with residual memories of a previous version of the timeline. A ghost of an old save file. And what about when objects seem to defy physics in our own homes? This is often called the disappearing object phenomenon. It's not just losing your keys, it's when an object vanishes from a closed room, only to reappear in a completely nonsensical place days later. In video game terms, this is a classic glitch. An object might clip through the geometry of the world, only to be respawned by the system in a default location. Okay, so personal glitches are eerie but easy to explain away. But what happens when the glitches aren't just on your personal computer, but on the main server? What happens when we see glitches on a cosmic scale? Let's start with the very foundation of our universe, its physical laws. Physicists have identified about 20 fundamental constants, numbers like the speed of light and the strength of gravity. Here's the spooky part, these numbers seem exquisitely fine-tuned for life. If you change the strength of gravity by the tiniest fraction, the universe would have either instantly collapsed or expanded too quickly for stars to form. The simulation hypothesis offers a chilling answer. They aren't random constants. They are settings. They are parameters deliberately dialed in by the programmers. We're not lucky, we're a feature. But beyond the settings, we're now finding active anomalies, live events that just don't fit. In 1977, we got the famous WOW signal, a powerful, 72-second radio transmission that looked exactly like an alien broadcast and was never heard from again. For decades, it was a lone data point. But now, it has company. In 2019, astronomers detected a signal that made the hair on their neck stand up. Named BLC-1, or Breakthrough Listen Candidate 1, it was a narrowband radio signal that appeared to be coming from the direction of Proxima Centauri, our closest neighboring star. It lasted for hours, and it drifted in frequency in a way that suggested it was coming from a moving planet. It passed almost every test for a genuine alien technosignature. Ultimately, after years of analysis, the team concluded it was likely just strange, Earth-based radio interference. But the glitch interpretation is more tantalizing. Was it really just human noise, or was that the convenient explanation to patch over a signal we weren't supposed to hear? A brief message from our neighbors before the sysadmins clamp down on the connection? Then there are glitches we can see. Take KIC 8,462,852, better known as Tabby's star. This star, located about 1,500 light-years away, does something no other star we've observed does. It dims, but not in the tiny, regular way a planet would cause. It experiences massive, irregular dips in brightness, sometimes losing up to 22% of its light for days or weeks at a time. That's enough to block out a star 1,000 times bigger than Jupiter. No natural explanation, like a dust cloud or a swarm of comets, perfectly fits all the data. The most famous, and controversial, hypothesis was proposed by astronomer Jason Wright. We could be seeing the construction of an alien megastructure, like a Dyson swarm, being built around the star to harvest its energy. A structure so vast it literally casts a shadow we can see from halfway across the galaxy. It remains an anomaly, a true architectural glitch in the celestial landscape. And maybe the strangest glitch of all is a phenomenon called fast radio bursts, or FRBs. These are unimaginably powerful blasts of radio waves from deep space that last for only a few milliseconds. In that tiny fraction of a second, a single FRB can release as much energy as our sun does in 3 days. We've detected thousands of them, and we have no definitive idea what they are. Some of them even repeat from the exact same spot, like a cosmic lighthouse. Are they just the product of hypermagnetic stars called magnetars? Or are they something more? In our simulation, what would a millisecond-long burst of immense energy be? A server-wide ping to check for latency? A massive data packet being transferred between galaxies? Or maybe the exhaust flash from a technology so advanced it appears to us as a glitch in the laws of physics? And after all these signals, in 2017, we got a physical object. Oumuamua. It was bizarre. It was shaped like a cigar or a pancake, and as it flew away from the sun, it accelerated, as if something was pushing it. But we saw no gas trail to explain the push. Harvard astrophysicist Avi Loeb suggested the most logical explanation was alien technology, a solar sail or a probe. It was a glitch in the normal population of celestial objects. A foreign object, an intruder in our system. This brings us to the most profound glitch of all. The one that governments are now finally admitting is real. I'm talking about unidentified aerial phenomenons, or unidentified anomalous phenomena. For over 70 years, these sightings were relegated to the fringe. Now, we have high-resolution infrared footage and testimony from highly trained Navy pilots describing objects that perform impossible maneuvers. They demonstrate what pilots call the 5 observables. They can hover silently, accelerate instantaneously, move at hypersonic speeds without any visible means of propulsion, avoid detection, and even travel seamlessly between the air and the sea. These objects break our known laws of physics. They are a profound, undeniable glitch in our understanding of what is possible. In our simulation, unidentified aerial phenomenons could be the avatars of the programmers, the system administrators checking in on their experiment. Their ability to defy physics isn't magic, they just have administrator privileges. Or perhaps they are the equivalent of a computer's cursor, a tool used by the simulators to interact with and manipulate their creation. The Mandela effect. Strange signals like BLC-1. Cosmic megastructures dimming a distant star. Bursts of energy flashing across the universe. Unidentified aerial phenomenons defying the laws of physics. When you look at each of these events in isolation, they are simply mysteries. Unsolved puzzles that science is still working on. But when you look at them all together, a different picture begins to emerge. A picture of a reality that is less stable, less concrete, and far stranger than we believe. A picture filled with tiny cracks, bugs, and errors. This isn't proof that we live in a simulation. But it's a powerful thought experiment. These glitches, from the tiniest flicker of déjà vu to a tic-tac shaped object outmaneuvering our best fighter jets, all point to the same conclusion: there is a higher level of intelligence and reality at play than our own. Whether they are extraterrestrials from another planet, beings from another dimension, or the programmers of our simulated universe, the message is the same. The glitch shows us the limits of our own world. It pulls back the curtain, just for a moment, revealing the machinery whirring away behind the scenes. It's the ultimate evidence that, in the grand scheme of existence, we are most certainly not alone. So the next time you lose your keys, or feel that strange sense of familiarity, stop for a second. Don't just dismiss it. Ask yourself, did I just misplace them? Or did I just witness a glitch in the matrix? What do you think? Have you ever experienced a glitch in reality that you just can't explain? Let me know your story in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this journey down the rabbit hole, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss our next exploration into the unknown. Thanks for watching.